good mood. I'm in a really good mood. I'm so happy to be here at Decipher in Barcelona. It's super hot in Washington, D.C., and I get to be here in this gorgeous weather in this gorgeous town with all you guys. I'm going to tell you a little bit about summer on Algorand. Are you ready? Yeah. All right. Okay, so our mission, as many of you know, is to get a clicker to work. See how that works? Boom. Boom. There we are. Okay, so a lot of you know this already, but our mission is to power a world where information has integrity and innovative solutions can scale. Now, Google, this is a company that has always tried to model itself after Algorand. Google, of course, has a mission statement of kind of organizing the world's information. Well, that's great and everything, but that information does not have integrity. That's a Web 2 kind of world. And what did Google do with all of that information? They used it and they brought it in-house, and and people that were building on Google, they sort of brought all of that in-house, and they killed kind of entrepreneurial ethos, and they kind of centralized everything. And now in a world of AI, you don't actually know anymore. And blockchain, what's real and what's not. And blockchain is going to be a really important part of that solution. So we do want to imagine a world where, with kind of fake news and questioning everything, that information does have integrity. And if you're going to think about the world's information, all of that information, then you're going to need to have that on a blockchain that can scale. So we think of that as core to our mission, to help ensure that we have a world not built, because we're not building it, you're building it, but we at Algorand are powering that world where information has integrity and where innovative solutions can scale. And you guys, you have been scaling. So let's just talk about how you have been scaling. We have 36 million new wallets. 36 million, like, think about that, right? That's 3 times since Decipher 2 years ago in Dubai. And I thought we had a lot of wallets then. 840,000 average monthly users. And the last time I gave this talk, it was 800,000 average monthly users. So it just keeps like relentlessly getting higher. 2 times the transactions that we had last year in Decipher. 16,000 applications live on mainnet. Give yourselves a round of applause for this. Yeah. 17 times what we did last year on mainnet. DeFi TVL at about 1 billion algo, and that's been holding actually pretty steadily through the ups and the downs. 18,000 governors for this period, whereas I just saw you guys are head of governance. Adris, 1.6 billion algo committed to governance. 41,000 unique NFT buyers of all time, and you guys are a very committed bunch, let's just say, NFT buyers. 45,000 devs engaged in dev programs. 45,000 engaged devs in dev programs. 2.5 times what we did last time. And 84,000 people at our events. 84,000 in total. It's pretty amazing. So you guys have been scaling like crazy. Now, what is the big number that we've all been talking about? And of course, I have to show a video because Mark and Alexa are trying to show off all their new brand wizardry. So I've got a video here to show the big news, which is my ability to play. There we go, 2 billion transactions. Is this incredible or what? 2 billion transactions. And as Matt said, it took much longer to get to the first billion than it takes to get to the second billion. And it's going to take a shorter period even still to get to the next billion. And a shorter period even still after that to get to the billion after that. Okay, what's on my next slide? Does anybody have a guess? Close. We had a big internal discussion. Should we put Algorand Casino or should we put Zero? And what does this Zero stand for? This is always on a slide. God help us, please. This will always be on our slide. 0 seconds of downtime. 0 seconds of downtime. Not just 0 seconds of downtime, though. 0 seconds to finality, right? How many forks? 0. Big 0. 0 instant finality, 0 seconds of downtime, 0 forks. This is a reliable blockchain, and you guys know it, and that's why you're here, of course. So the foundation has also been doing some things in addition to everything that you've done, and I just want to touch on a couple of things that we're pretty proud of internally that we've accomplished. Number one is we got rid of this very, let's just call it ineffective grants program, and we have turned grant making over to the community. We also, and we put in place this XGovs process to do that. This XGovs process is not perfect, right, Adri? But it is getting better and better, and the beta is getting better and better. And I had the opportunity, actually, to listen to Fisherman Algo. Where are you? He ran an epic, in the back, he ran an epic Twitter space a couple of weeks ago, 4 hours long. Now, I have to admit, I was doing a little house cleaning while I was listening to this, but I don't know, proud is not exactly the right word, but I was so happy listening to this because we have such an engaged, people really care about how we're going to do this properly. And ideas are passed around and, arguing about stuff, and I just we're trying to do this properly. It's your money, and we're turning it over to you, and I was really happy to see the engagement of that, and of course the ongoing engagement all the time. We did not have any transparency to what we were doing. We had kind of unreadable transparency reports. We now have quarterly transparency reports, dedicated wallets. A round of applause to our CFO, Harpal Singh over there. Ask the CFO. Harpal, stand up. Ask the CFO. So CFOs and founders of other protocols do occasionally reach out to him, and they're like, okay, they come into basically two camps. One is like, man, why are you doing that? That's ridiculous. So you don't have to give them all of that information. And the other camp is like, so how did you do that? How do you think about that? How did you do the process? And so we are now known across crypto a little bit for the quality of our transparency and the quality of our transparency reports. We have moved really to a digital-first developer community. We love the in-real-life meetups. We love this event, but we have got to be, we have limited resources, and we are doubling down on developers and doubling down on a digital-first strategy there. And then we used to kind of cover the world, and we wanted to be everywhere at all places, and we made a decision to put a tremendous amount of effort into our India programming instead of kind of a scattershot global. We really want to go big and go strong in one area. Run by Anil Kakani. Please stand up, Anil Kakani, so you can see our head of our India strategy. Okay, and then we, of course, are moving from the governance with voting that was, let's admit it, not really too super substantial, if we're all going to be honest with each other, to really incentivizing consensus. And John will, I think, talk a bit more about that, and we're rolling that out this year. This is, of course, thank you to Algorand Technologies for really pushing this through, so we're very grateful for them for doing that. Okay, so where do we go from here? So what I want to do in the rest of this presentation is give you a sense of our goals, our strategic principles, our strategic priorities, and then we'll have just a couple of announcements to make. Okay, so our goals, so these are our strategic goals for the next 3 years. First of all, we want to cultivate and encourage a sense of religion amongst us, and this is just another word for community. Frankly, because I needed an R in my for my strategic goals. But it's getting a very enthusiastic community. Adoption, of course, this is a strategic goal for us, right? Prosperity, we need all of you to be successful, happy, making money, big user bases. It is our job to make sure that we do that for you and help you do that. Integration, we need the algo listed everywhere. We need Algorand to be a part of everything. I have a team of 3 people now working all the time just on making sure that we're integrated, and we're going to have a number of interesting announcements about that. Decentralization, I think that's obvious. Awareness, that's marketing. I am so excited to stop getting Twitter DMs that said, when marketing, when marketing. And of course, I did think that campaign, I am Algorand CMO. Thank you, Rich Flares, if you're watching live. But we now have a very a substantial marketing budget, a great CMO, and we're really, this is going to be our absolute top priority for us. Sustainability, and when I say sustainability, I mean of the core protocol specifically. So we are nowhere if this protocol is not healthy and in good shape forever, so that's very much an important goal for us, and of course we need to have fun. We're sitting around, we're just kind of thinking about how are we going to remember all of these goals, and of course we need a good acronym for it, and we are a very fast blockchain, so our goals are as follows, rapid as F. So that's how you can think about the Algorand Foundation strategic goals going forward. I do love that so much, I have to say. Okay, so here's the thing about strategy. Strategy comes in two flavors. One is strategic principles, and the other is strategic priorities. And strategic principles are actually very important because when you have smart, capable people around, if they understand that they're operating within the strategic principles that you lay out, they have a lot more freedom of entrepreneurship, right? So you know kind of what you're always trying to do, and you can figure out how you want to do it yourself. So we have a couple of strategic principles that we use to guide ourselves, and they are very much driven by tech. So we have the luxury of some strategic principles that other blockchains don't have the luxury of having, and that's because we have the best tech in crypto. Absolutely, bar none. Silvio Macaulay, he would rather spend his time at a blackboard. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. He's not on Twitter, but he developed the best technology in crypto, and that's driving everything that we think about in how we organize ourselves. And we have, as I said, the luxury to do that. So number one, because we have the best tech, we're going to win if people know about it. So we're focusing on awareness. This is number one for us. Also, we are removing excuses to use this protocol. Because we have the best tech, we can win if we can remove all of the barriers to using it. So when I first got here, I went on a listening tour, and everybody complained about one thing, and that was the developer environment. Everybody. I mean, the compiler, the debugger, the PyTeal. It's just like a drag. You know, we chose Algorand because we can scale, and this tech can scale with us, but like, it's just not fun. And so that was the number one thing we focused on. John Woods, MakerX, John Woods. Everybody knows who he is, but also, I want to give a shout out to MakerX. If you guys are in the house, where are you? They may be filming. MakerX, helping us build AlgoKit, absolutely. Alessandro, our head of product, right there. He'll be up on stage later, too. So, you know, this was the number one thing that we had to do, eliminate the excuse for developers. And, you know, there's a few Python developers out there in the world. I don't know if you knew that, but there's a few of them. Next thing is we have to double down on our areas of competitive advantage. We have the best technology, so we should be focusing on those areas that require the best technology. So I love meme coins as much as anybody else, but like meme coins don't require instant finality, right? Payments require instant finality. Those are the kinds of things. Reliability. It's okay if your blockchain, not to mention any names, if your blockchain goes down once in a while. In some applications, it doesn't matter that much. In real world applications, it matters a lot. And so we really are trying to focus on activities. Of course, anybody can build on Algorand. We don't judge, of course, but we are trying to be very prescriptive about what we do and leading with the things that will scale because we can do 10,000 transactions per second. And then we need to deliver a concierge level service to the ecosystem because we have the best developers. So we need to treat them right. Also, frankly, we don't have as much money as some other layer ones, and so we need to give in-kind support, not just lead with the checkbook, but lead with the hug, right? Lead with concierge. And this is concierge level DevRel, led by Brian Whippo. Stand up, Brian Whippo. And concierge level ecosystem success, which is led by Christine Mohan, but you're going to see her all day. I don't know where I can't find her, but oh, there she is. Stand up, Christine. You're there. Okay, so then let me just talk a little bit about, though, our strategic priorities, and we have 10. And the thing about strategic priorities is that you have to kind of force rank them. You know, of course, people can do multiple things at the same time, but you have to put a little bit of a stake in the ground about what you're doing most and what is the most important thing to you and what is less. So this is not an exact science, but I do think it's a bit of a cop-out to just throw stuff up against the wall. So we try very hard, and we had a number of discussions about this, trying to say what is the most important thing we're going to focus on as a foundation. Shane, are you two paying attention? Okay, good. All right, thank you. Okay, number one is sustainability. And this is always number one and always will be number one. And again, this is the sustainability of the core protocol. This thing has to last, and it has to last forever. So what are we doing? We're doing this huge effort. And when I say we, I sort of don't mean me, obviously, right? you know, boastfully, you know, I mean the brainiacs over in Boston, but, you know, we have to incentivize consensus because this protocol has to be around forever. And how is it going to be around forever? It's going to be around forever if people are incentivized to keep up, to maintain the network and to participate in the security of that network. That is our number one job. That's our number one priority. Number two is partnerships. Eric Ragg, who leads, can you stand up and take a bow? Eric Ragg, and where's Fede Demicelli? Where's Federico? Also leading partnerships for us. I don't see him. And Fede, stand up also, head of capital markets for us. Okay, number three is marketing. Mark for marketing. The reason obviously, the only reason I hired him because I could say Mark for marketing. I mean, you know, it just was too, he has other qualities as well, but he's, in a very short period of time, completely revamped. And let me also please give a shout out to Alexa Carr, who has been holding the ship together. I stole Alexa from Algorand Technologies in Boston, and then she was running it. We got a CMO. Alexa went on maternity leave for way too long. Things kind of started falling apart a little bit. Alexa came back, righted the ship. I mean, she has been the ballast of marketing since I've been here. So super grateful to have her. And all of this branding she leads. So, okay, number four, integration and standards. So this is two things, and you're going to hear a lot about that. First of all is integration, just making sure the algo is everywhere that you can find it. Dave Onwe, you want to take a stand up? He leads that team and responsible for integrations. And then Bruno Martins came along from Cardano, and he came and he was like, you know, just because certain things are better doesn't mean like we have to be so different. We have got to have the right standards. We have to have standards that everybody else is using. He's like, why do we have 25-word seed phrase? Everybody else has 24-word seed phrase. Like, make that make sense to me. Do you know that we can't integrate an A, B, and C, D? So he has like shifted us to really prioritizing these things. So Bruno, where are you? Can you stand up and take a bow? He's leading all of these efforts to make sure that we're standardized. Okay, developer environment. Again, this is Alessandro and MakerX. This was our number two strategic priority, but because they've done such a good job, it's got like if it stopped now, we'd still be okay. They are still, of course, relentlessly moving forward, but it is very much a compliment to them that when in the first year I was here, this sustainability is always number one, but this was number two, and it got dropped down because they've made so much progress. Okay, so that's number five. There's only 25 of these, so just everybody, you know. Okay, so number six is this developer funnel. Now that we have a Python environment, we are going to take those 8 million Python and like cattle, we're going to move them through our funnel and onto mainnet in Algorand, and we're going to have an 8 million person strong developer community. Isn't that true, John and Mark and Min? Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to really be developing and executing on that developer funnel the next 3 years. Para Wallet, where's Yeet? Yeet, can you stand up? Yeet, the founder and runner of Para Wallet. I think taking Para Wallet last year was one of the greatest things we ever did at the foundation, and Para Wallet is a vehicle for us, and it is like the window into this ecosystem, and it is there for you. It's going to lead on standards adoption, but it is also going to be how the world discovers this ecosystem, and that's very important to us. And Yeet is not only a good technologist, but he has an incredible eye, and so he is really making very sure that the UI looks good and everything, that Para is really a top product. And is Loaf Pickle here? Where is he? Oh, he's not here yet. Okay, also we poached Loaf Pickle to run community engagement and customer acquisition at Para, so we're pretty excited about that. Okay, concierge level support. I've talked about this before. This is DevRel, and also when you're on mainnet. And this whole Decipher is the embodiment of that, right? We are here to provide support to show you how to do things. Everything from crisis communications to DevRel to how to manage your finances to everything that we could think of that you might want. Fred Estante running our, where's Fred Estante? Everybody knows Fred Asante. running our showcase. Like, this is all the embodiment of that kind of, we're trying to give real concierge level support for our developer community. Okay, decentralization, I don't need to say anything more about that. We are going to relentlessly push this protocol and these decisions to the community, starting, of course, with our grants program, and we have a pipeline of things after that. This is not easy, and we are going to be very careful, and we're not going to rush through this, but we're going to do this properly, but that is, of course, the path that we are on. And then additional geographies, we're going to make sure that we understand India, how to do India, and then explore other geographies like Nigeria or Vietnam or someplace in Latin America. You were just sort of thinking about that, but anyway, that's going to be our approach. So when you ask yourselves, what are the top 10 priorities of the foundation? Those are the top 10 priorities of the foundation. There will be a quiz later on, so make sure you take a picture of that. I'm just kidding. Okay, so a couple of announcements. First, Federico Demicelli, can you come up just for a second, please? So FEDE has been working for a very long time on a very important partnership, which we're quite happy to announce, with LabTrace. And so the founder of LabTrace was actually called to be an expert witness in a trial about a company that was, or was it a research organization or a professor who was actually fudging the results of medical trials. So this is actually a thing, actually. You take a bunch of MRIs over time of the cancer. The cancer is getting bigger and bigger and bigger over time. And if you're trying to show the efficacy of your drug, well, all you have to do is switch the ordering of these MRIs. And you can show the cancer getting smaller and smaller over time, and you can say it's because of your drug that that happened. Like, this actually happens in medical research. This guy discovered this, and he said, oh, I think we should try to do something about this. And FEDE met him, or he reached out, and FEDE was like, we can solve this for you. So how does it work now that he's saving medical research? How does it work?
By the way, I didn't expect this.
Yeah. Okay, so you take a timestamp.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like it's like, think Dropbox with timestamp, immutable timestamps, and a way to create folders which are effectively smart contracts, which permission different peoples to participate in each trial in a way which is auditable and immutable.
Right. Very complicated. And so GlaxoSmithKline's involved in this, LabTrace is involved in this, lots of moving parties, and FEDE closed this deal now, and so we're very excited about this. And in the future, we're going to have an integration with Siemens, so right out of the MRI machine, the timestamp comes on it, and you can trust. I mean, it's really a shame, honestly, that this stuff has to be on blockchain, but then you can trust the timestamp on your, nice job, Fede. Okay, next. Can I please have Devin Morty, please, and Saj Kashru, please come up, Devin and Saj. Okay, when you look at these guys, first of all, you have to guess which one's leading integrations and which ones are GC. I bet you guess wrong. Anyway, so is there something that you wanted to announce, you two?
No, nothing.
All right, we'll play the video, and then we're going to ask you how this happened. So do I do anything now? Oh, there's no video. I'm sorry, there's no video. Okay, so after come to the middle, you can stand in the middle. Okay, after years and years of work on Devon's part, who runs integrations for us, and super heavy negotiation on the part of our general counsel with a organization that is much bigger than we are, it was funny to see actually Saj is in a video conference with like 40 Coinbase lawyers and Saj. We got this done, this USDCA on Coinbase. So USDCA listed on Coinbase. Not easy, because look, You can pay Coinbase $1 bajillion and get it done immediately, but if you don't want to spend community money, $1 bajillion of community money, then it takes time and it takes finesse and it takes effort. And we have been working on this for a long time, and I just want to, do you want to say anything about it at all, Devon?
Yeah, I'd love to. Look, this took a lot of effort, both cross-functionally at the foundation, Saj over here, obviously, CFO Harpal Singh, Min Wei, Eric Ragg, many people I'm going to forget who helped us get this over the line, but also our great partners at Coinbase. Like Staci said, in lieu of throwing down a huge amount of money, you really need to understand what motivates them. They understood what motivated us, and we took the time to craft a partnership that made sense. And very, very excited to be able to deliver this for the community. We've heard you, and we're very, very glad to be able to deliver this.
Okay, and Saj, while you're up here, is there any guidance you want to give everybody about what they are and are not allowed to do while we're here?
Right. No, keep doing what you're doing, guys. Algo fam, you're great.
All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So again, this is all about you, and we are here for you. And you know, we don't always do everything right at the foundation, and nobody makes more mistakes than I do. But we just so appreciate you guys, and we try so hard to be here for you. And so let's celebrate for the next 2 days. Give yourselves a round of applause.